Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be playing the Norscans here, up against the mighty Puri Prisoner, who's going to be in charge of the Warriors of Chaos. Now you may have seen Puri before. He was in fact in our tournament the other day, the Death Before Dishonor. Did very good and unfortunately got knocked out by the winner, Ben the Barman. So let's see how he goes in this matchup. Now, for the Norscans, I've gone for a pretty interesting build that I haven't used before. So in the front line, I do have Marauders as great weapons. These guys are just such great value against Chaos, and that's because, of course, they got massive armor piercing, and Chaos bring a lot of armor and heavy slow units, and these guys should really be able to trade upwards with their big old great axes there. Now up in the sky, we have gone for 2 Frostworms. I've used these guys a tiny bit, but normally just as a single entity, not as 2 of them. They do have a nice slowing aura, and they've got some nice frost attacks, so should be pretty damn decent. Let's see if I can, protect them. I tend to get my dragons and so forth stuck and killed quite often, but we'll see how they do. Then in the back, I do have 2 units of armoured skin wolves, and if you've seen any of my Norscan videos before, you know I really rate these guys. They're fast, they have regeneration, and they just look incredibly badass being giant, scary werewolves. Anti-large is pretty useful in this matchup. They're able to take out, Chaos Cav and so forth, and also do a decent amount of damage in combat against infantry. So we do have a unit of Marauder Horsemasters here. And for our Lord, we do in fact have Throgg the Troll King. Now, I think this is my first time actually taking him. Apart from looking very badass with that crown on his big tooth and all the swords in his bag, he's an absolute tank. So he has regeneration, frostbite, which is super useful. Big armor piercing, should be able to deal with big monsters and a lot of the Chaos Lords they can bring. I think Arkel might do a number over him with his flaming sword, against regeneration. But apart from that, very tanky, not too much that's going to be able to take him down, at least without, a fight. He also has some vomit, which is real nice. And the description there is just which, pretty much sums him up quite nicely. Now over in the sides, we do also have 2 units of Norscan Ice Wolves, just to get behind the enemy, try and take down any Hell Cannon play, or any, kind of skirmish cav, and also pretty good just chasing down units to make sure they don't come back. Now for my opponent, he does have 2 units of Marauder Horsemen. He's going to be outclassed, obviously, my single unit here. We're already getting some pretty nice fire on this Frostworm here. He's got Plague of Rust dropped on him. An upgraded version as well. Now for the main line, he has gone for Chaos Warriors with great weapons. I'm not 100% sure why he went for the great weapon variety. Perhaps because they do fairly decent against monsters as well. And then for 2 units of standard Chaos Marauders. On either flank, he does have a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. These guys are going to be absolutely beastly. They'll be able to stand toe-to-toe with Throgg for a while. Throgg should be able to beat one down, but double teaming him, they'll do a decent job. Now, up in there, he does have a single Chaos Feral Manticore. And down on the ground, he has gone for the Everwatcher, the big old pigeon, just walking around cackling. He's going to be dropping spells, really hard to pin down. Let's see what spells he's gone for. So he does have Final Transmutation. He's gone for Plague of Rust, which you've already seen popped, Metal Shifting, and he's of course Unbreakable and all the other good stuff. Big Terror Causer, pretty good against Norscans, just because Norscans don't have the best leadership. So let's get this underway. So it looks like some early skirmish is going on. We have managed to catch these Marauder Horsemen, but they've done quite a large amount of damage to this Frostworm, so it has had Plague of Rust dropped in it. And this other one has also managed to catch a unit of Marauder Horsemasters, but it has been pinned back by Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, which is not the fight this Frostworm wants to take at all, so I'll be trying to get him out as soon as possible. And this guy, even though he managed to catch these Marauder Horsemen, because of that Plague Rust, he's taken a huge amount of damage. And in comes the Chaos Feral Manticore as well. Looks like the Everwatcher has overextended a little bit, and Throgg's going to be running in there. Now, he's not the fastest fella in the world, but he has popped Foe Seek to increase speed, and he's going to be clubbing the Everwatcher in the back here. He's taking a huge amount of unnecessary damage. There's no reason for him to kind of get this high up the field. And as you can see, his damage is taking this huge, and Throgg's he's following him in. Now I know there's obviously a risk here. There is all these horsemen, plus the Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, but it's worth it. Just look at this crazy amount of damage he's managed to do already. Already down to half health. So it looks like the Frostworms have popped up into the air, and they're going to be 2-on-1 in this Manticore, trying to bring him down. And it looks like the Ice Wolves have just popped out as well, trying to get behind the enemy a little bit. Apart from that, main line is just moving up. Looks like these Skin Wolves are following as well. And this unit of Skin Wolves, they are anti-large. They're going to be running in, trying to pin down the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Big kind of monster mash going on here. So we have managed to 2-on-1 that Feral Manticore. It looks like it has broken. The Throg's going to be running in the back here, just absolutely wailing on this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. However, he's done a huge amount of damage to these Frostworms. And Final Transmutation come down on this big blob here, doing a very large amount of damage. And it looks like it's going to completely break this other Frostworm. There's a tiny chance it might come back with 309 health, but I very much doubt it. final one is just going to be chasing down this Ferroman skull, making sure it can't escape. Now Throgg's going into a very dangerous situation here. He's running in to try and support these armoured skin wolves, doing a bit of a number over the Everwatcher, and he's just going to start clubbing this Dragon Ogre in behind. So they could turn around and start 2-on-1 in them, which they are, and he's in a little bit of trouble. Now the main line has engaged, and it's going fairly decent across the board for me. I was a bit, wider front line than my opponent, so I brought this unit of Marauders up and around and charged them into the back, sandwiching these Chaos Warriors here. So these guys can be cut down fairly easily, and it looks like we're trading fairly effectively on the right hand side here as well. In the back it looks like we've got our Ice Wolves chasing down these Horse Masters, which is all good for us. In the centre it's a little bit more dicey. We are getting 2-on-1 ourselves by the Marauders and Chaos Warriors with great weapons. But apart from that centre pocket, the main line's going fairly well. And as we can see, Throgg has taken a massive amount of damage in just that short time we looked away. He is down to just over 800 health, but he is going to regen. And it looks like in return we managed to beat down the Everwatcher and this other Dragon Ogre, so that's pretty good value there. Throgg's going to be running away, but this entire time he's going to be regenning and he'll eventually come back into the fray. So it looks like we have managed to pin down the Everwatcher here. They did get 2v1'd again by these Skin Wolves. Well, Throgg there as well for a short while, and the Frostworm. And it looks like we're doing a ton of damage, down to 500 health here. There's some Chaos Warriors trying to desperately run to protect their Lord. But I think this could be over, and there he goes, down he goes. Very successful Skin Wolves. And the Frostworms, they struggled a little bit, took a lot of damage, but in return they did manage to take down the Lord, which is a pretty good trade overall. Now this last Dragon Ogre is going to be a bit of a pain, so I'm just trying to focus him down with Marauder Horse Masters whenever possible. It looks like we've got some Skin Wolves just trying to body slam into him as well. Now over on the left hand side, we've got another little skirmish going on with some Skin Wolves who just got absolutely punted there, this poor little Skin Wolf. But he is getting back up into the fray, trying to just shatter off this Dragon Ogre Shagoff, but it's down to just 700 health. But it looks like it might just be able to take this fight against the Skin Wolves. Looks like the Frostworm is up in the air, a little bit shaken, but still there for now. Probably going to be dropping some nice breath attacks. And we did lose the middle pocket and this kind of left fight over here. However, we did obviously manage to trade their Lord. But on the right hand side, pins are going much more successfully. We've just had this unit of Ice Wolves over here on 50 kills now. There's hunted down units which break, and this main blob, these 3 units should easily be able to clean up this last unit and this one routing unit. So it looks like Throgg has come back into the fray. He's up to 800 health now. Just going to keep regenerating, trying to get him up as much as possible before I commit to a fight. Trying to do as much poke damage as possible with these Horse Masters on this big Dragon Ogre here. On the left hand side we do have a big breath attack coming from this Frostworm, and that looks like it might just be enough to shatter this Dragon Ogre Shagoff. I already start routing him, and there's no way with that little health and this big bad boy flying in the sky he's going to come back, especially when the edge of the map's just right here. We are cleaning up units in the back again with these Ice Wolves, and this is really the last pocket strength for my opponent. Power of balance is slightly in their favour, but this entire time all these Skin Wolves, they're going to be healing up, so is Throgg. It looks like we are actually going to start to commit to a fight here. So over in the distance, yeah, as you can see, as predicted, we are cleaning up these units, and the Wolves are just shattering off people left and right. And over here, we charge them with the Skin Wolves, just trying to pin these guys down for a little bit, throw in a few more missiles while we can. It looks like the Marauders are going to saturate on top of these Skin Wolves to try and deal with these Chaos Warriors. Now where is Throgg? Okay, Throgg's just chilling right now. He doesn't want to get too involved in the fight. He's kind of got quite a nice swagger to him when he walks. He's not fast. He's just walking away. He's up over 1,000 hit points now as well. And as you can see, the more hit points he gets, the better the power balance gets in our favour. Skin Wolves are doing a great job, and looks like we managed to break off these Marauders, and obviously this Frostworm can just chase them off. Opponent has tried to fend off these Horse Masters with some Chaos Warriors, but obviously they're just going to flirt backwards. They don't need to get an engagement if they don't want to. Another big Frost Breath coming down there onto the Chaos Warriors, doing some decent damage. Might have been a better idea to do on the Dragon Ogre there, and just try and break that guy off. So Skin Wolves have finally broken, but it looks like Throgg's reunited with his friends over here, who did win that flank on the right hand side, and together they're just going to be wandering over to try and finish off this last bastion of strength for my opponent. So looks like he's trying to rally as many Chaos Marauders as he can with his Lord here, but don't know if they're going to. It's very close to the edge. These Ice Wolves are just lurking nearby. I was trying to rally my own troops and ensure these ones go off. And it does look like the Skin Wolves did rally, and they're going to keep regenning, so they're all good value there. Our main force is starting to head over for this final confrontation. So we're going to pull the Skin Wolves just up and around to this side, to give them a little bit of protection, give them some time to heal up and try and unite all our forces. Throgg, so much swagger right now, so we walk towards him, up to now to 1,400 health nearly, and he's going to be a real big menace to be honest. He should be able to beat down this Dragon Ogre, and as long as he doesn't get isolated on his own, he should be completely fine. It does look like, he's charging in a little bit premature here. running headlong into the enemy, but he is super tanky, and it looks like he does have a bit of support on the flank at least. Let's see what he tries to do. Is he going to go for a big vomit here by the looks of it? No, he just barfed a little bit, but I don't think he's actually done his vomit attack. Let's see if he's going to do it. No, it looks like he's just standing around, just chilling out. So it looks like we do try and isolate this unit on the side, the Skin Wolves and the Frostworm. However, he does respond with the Dragon Ogre, but as he does that, of course, Throgg's just going to run into the main melee and start causing some carnage. So we have gone for a rear attack as well by the Marauder Horsemasters. We have popped down a big old fight or die and the Institute Crown just to make everything unbreakable. We do just slam in, just start to rout these Chaos Warriors. These ones are so close to breaking, it looks like they're being carried around at the moment, possibly by Throgg, and there they do, they start to rout, and that's going to be game by the looks of this. Dragon Ogre just can't stand up, there's just too many units down here, and Big Throgg hopefully should beat him down. And with that, we do have a Pyrrhic victory. So very well played to my opponent. Let's go check out the end stats. So super fun game. Piri here, also known as Chaos, is a very skillful player. Obviously you would have seen that if you've checked out the tournament. That's just up on the channel and actually fully loaded. It's the first live stream we did. Very, very good player. So I had to put in my A game. Very stressful battle overall, very close towards the end there. But luckily managed to pull it out. Now these guys right here, the Marauders are great weapons. Just fantastic value, you know, 72 kills, 41, 63. All good numbers, you know, up against Chaos Warriors. So they're really, you know, punching above their weight. The Ice Wolves did a decent job just hunting down units as expected. The Frostworms, I mean, they caused a big problem. They helped really take down the Everwatcher, and they did a decent amount of damage, but they didn't you know, do the best. But I think that was more my fault and my own micro. Throgg, only 6 kills, but he did a huge amount of damage. He's actually really powerful. Definitely looking to take him in more matchups. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like down below. Let me know, you know, that you guys enjoyed the channel and whatnot. Do subscribe, comment, all that kind of good stuff, and if you do want to support, I do have a Patreon down below. So some rather exciting news. The tournament we did do the other day has now actually got over 100 views, which is crazy cool. It was our first ever live stream, so that's really exciting. So I'm going to be doing a second tournament, probably been taking place in a couple of weeks. It's going to be on a Wednesday again. We're trying to get the reigning champion, Ben the Barman, back in, and maybe even try and get Piri back in here as well, a couple of the old guys, and get a couple of new guys in there as well, just to mix it up a little bit. So look forward to that, guys. It's going to be on the way, and I'll see you next time. Stay awesome.